This is a test of the voiceover feature. I will be Larry King's voice for today.
I will be Sarah Palin's voice for today. How are you, Larry?
I'm doing fine, Sarah, and how are you?
Just fine, thank you. I heard some interesting news from Taiwan recently.
Oh, and what news was that?
I heard that Reporters Without Borders has moved Taiwan's journalistic ranking up from a 2-year low.
That's great. But do you know what the reasoning for the 2-year low was?
Of course not. However, I found it interesting that a province of China should receive a different ranking than the country itself.
Wait, what?
Well, it sounds stupid. Why would Martha's Vineyard have a different Reporters Without Borders ranking than the entirety of the U.S.?
First, Taiwan isn't a province of what is commonly referred to as China. Second, what does Martha's Vineyard have to do with Taiwan?
Well, Larry, historically islands that have been located close to another larger country have always been a part of that country. Such as Martha's Vineyard, it is close to the mainland U.S. and is a part of the state of Maryland. The same case as with Taiwan and China. Taiwan is close to China, therefore, China owns Taiwan.
Massachusetts.
What?
Massachusetts. Martha's Vineyard is in Massachusetts, not Maryland. Secondly, the distance between Taiwan and China and the distance between Martha's Vineyard and Massachusetts is not even close to being the same thing. Martha's Vineyard is located approximately 7 miles off the southern coast of Cape Cod. It can be reached by a ferry. Taiwan is located 140 miles at the shortest distance from the shores of the main island to the coast of China. So, your theory is already severely flawed.
Well, even if the distances are still not the same, Taiwan has historically always been a part of China. So, that makes it a province of China.
Historically, the United States is the only country to ever send people to the moon. So does that mean that any country who wishes to send people to the moon must first get travel visas from the US? If you are going to use historical information to prove that something belongs to someone else, then the moon belongs to the United States, since it is the only country to ever send living humans to the surface of the moon and the only country to plant a flag on the moon.
Now you're just being ridiculous.
Am I? Am I being any more ridiculous than your claims that Taiwan belongs to China because of some historical, albeit very small, connection to China? Taiwan has a history just as old as China, if not older, and the aboriginals in China are not of Han descent like the 80% majority of China is today.
Yes, Taiwan's history is just as old as China's, because it was a part of China from ancient times. And China has its own aboriginal tribes that are a part of the greater Chinese race.
Are you listening to yourself? Nothing you just said made any sense.